The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone. I see that we still have a few more people coming, so I'm just going to introduce everyone here. Thank you so much for coming to this special webinar. I'm sure you are used to hearing Matt, but we decided that the social media team is a little more suited to be talking about a topic they're experts on. So the social media team has been working for the past few months to learn all about Instagram and to create and test a strategy that works. So we are so excited to share all of our tips with you. Now, a few things before we get started. We do have an announcement. Q4Launch is excited to offer Instagram to our customers next month. Woo! If you are interested in learning more, then you can contact us about it. And I know that you can't see all of us, so we'll introduce ourselves. My name is Sarah.
I'm Nathan.
I'm Caroline. And I'm Aracelia.
We all work together on the social media team. So like most things on the internet, social media is constantly changing. And it's all of our job to keep up with this change and share this knowledge with the team, and therefore we get to share it with you. So let's get into Instagram. First, we have a little bit of a poll for you. We would love to know if your business is currently on Instagram. So if you post frequently, yes, but you rarely post, or no, not at all. This is just going to give us a little bit of an idea about what we think that you'll like to hear about. I'll just leave that up on the screen a little bit. And just to let all of you know, we are going to keep this webinar a little bit shorter than usual, so we will have some time to answer your questions at the end. I know that most of you probably will have a few questions about Instagram. It's a fairly new social media. It's getting more and more popular lately. So if you do have a question, then you can just put it in the question section and we'll be keeping track of it, and we can get to it at the end. All right, so it looks like a lot of you answered the poll, and it looks like 45% of you are on Instagram and you post frequently. Awesome. 40% of you, yes, but rarely post, and 16% is a no, and that is okay. As long as you are thinking about Instagram, then you are definitely on the right track. Thank you so much for answering that for us. Now let's get into it. All right, so 5 tips for reaching new guests with Instagram. First, let's talk about what Instagram is. I'm sure you all know, but a picture is worth 1,000 words, and Instagram is entirely picture and video based. You can show your creativity on this platform. You can use it as a photo album of your property and area. We want you to use it to show the experience visually and entice the senses. Now, let's think about, do you belong on Instagram? When considering if you should create an Instagram account for your business, there are a few things that you should think about. Ask yourself these questions. Are your competitors on Instagram? Is your product visually compelling? Are your customers on Instagram? Am I mobile friendly? Well, first, are your competitors on Instagram? Most likely they are. Second, is your product visually compelling? Yes. Your inn, bed and breakfast, or vacation rental properties are gorgeous. This is a perfect platform to show them all off. Third, are your customers on Instagram? Yes. As of 2018, Instagram had reached 1 billion users worldwide. Of all these Instagram users, more than 60% are millennials. If you're looking to reach this demographic, this is the platform for you. And lastly, am I mobile friendly? And by that we mean, is your website mobile friendly? Instagram is a mobile social network that is accessed from an app on your phone. Users will click to your website to bring it up on their phone, so you need to be mobile friendly. And if you do have a website with Q4Launch, then you are, so you don't have to worry about that one. If you answered yes to all of the above, then Instagram is something you should utilize for your business. Without a strong social media strategy, and that includes Instagram, you're missing out on key opportunities to increase your brand awareness and revenue. Instagram posts generate a per follower engagement rate of 4.21%. And to put that into perspective, that is 58 times more engagement per follower than Facebook and 120 times more than Twitter. Now let's get into our 5 tips for reaching new guests with Instagram. Our first one is setting yourself up for success with a cohesive, optimized profile. Before you can even start using Instagram for your business, your profile needs to be optimized. Having the right profile will set you up for success. When setting up your profile, here is what you need to know. First is the right user. And we actually just started a Q4Launch Instagram, so you can follow us if you'd like. But so we're using this as an example. Our username is Q4Launch. It is the name of our business, and your username should be recognizable and also coincides with your business and brand. The best username is the name of your business. We recommend not adding any numbers to the end of your username. Our research shows that usernames like this are associated with spam accounts and also do not look professional. And next, we have an awesome avatar. We recommend using your logo as your avatar since it is most recognizable to those familiar with your company. Otherwise, you can use a good property photo. Keep in mind that Instagram crops your avatar photo into a circle, as you see here. So we recommend uploading it in square dimensions to make sure that nothing gets cut off. Next, we have the perfect bio. You have only 150 characters to make an impression. Keep it direct and to the point while standing out in your industry. What is important to your business? Think about these things and try to include them in your bio. Do you host weddings? Are you right outside the city? Do you provide a free breakfast? Let your potential guests know. And lastly, your link. Q4Launch, we use a link tree. You are allowed one link in your bio, so you have to make it count. We use Linktree because it takes you to another landing page where users can click on the link you would like them to follow. So on our Q4Launch page, if you click that link, this is where it will take you. We have our 4 most important links here. The first is the home page. The second is our webinar sign up. The third is our blog. And then 4th is our hiring page.
So next, we're going to talk about the importance of quality content. Every photo counts on Instagram. Not only does the quality of your photo need to be high, but the quality of your content also really matters. Your images need to be actionable, educational, entertaining, and they should tell the story of your brand. We're going to dive deeper into storytelling later on, but every post should be able to captivate your audience. Instagram users act based on emotion. So you need to make them feel the need to travel and stay at your property. Show them what you have to offer. Show why people should come. And when you look at this series of photos, for example, like what do you feel? Do they evoke a sense of relaxation, zen, maybe bliss? Anyone stressed out by the hustle and bustle of daily life would be attracted to photos like these. And it's up to you guys to remind them of that. There's a reason people come to your property. Think about it and promote it.
All right, so now let's dive in on how to post on Instagram. There are a few things to keep in mind when you post. First, the frequency of your posts. Like we just said, quality is better than quantity on Instagram. You don't want to post over and over again to clog up someone's feed. Each post should have a purpose and mean something. If you post over and over again, the engagement of your post will drop, and Instagram will stop showing your photos to your followers. They will also not show up in the Explore page, which is the randomized feed that is customized based on your users' interests. Second, your captions. Instagram is more photo-centered, but your captions still matter. Keep them short and sweet. It is rare that someone scrolling through the app would read a long paragraph. Try to evoke comments by including questions in your captions. The more engagements you get on your post, the more people Instagram will show them to. Lastly, using hashtags. The world of hashtags. It can seem overwhelming at times, but this is a great way to be found. When people search for specific hashtags you've used, your post will come up. Make sure you use relevant hashtags, but not too many. Instagram won't show your post if they think you're taking advantage of using hashtags. When you're choosing the hashtags you want to use, search popular ones and see what Instagram suggests. Search hashtags before using them and make sure they coincide with your brand. We usually recommend using 5 to 10.
The fourth thing to keep in mind with Instagram is highlighting your property. Why do people come to stay at your inn, bed and breakfast, hotel, or vacation rentals? This may seem obvious, but you need to highlight the key points of your property. Don't forget that new users come to your profile every day, and the last few posts you have done are what they will see first. Do you have a pool, a spa, a restaurant? Showcase anything that makes your property special and unique, including but not limited to amenities, area secrets, special toiletries, linens, decor, or anything else you think a potential guest would want to see.
All right, now let's get into our fifth and final point. And just a reminder to everyone, please feel free to ask questions as we go, and we will get to them at the end. Right, so your brand story. The most important part to a good Instagram strategy is that you are telling the story of your brand. Think of your profile as a whole, not as individual images. Are they cohesive? What story are you telling? And is it on brand? When potential guests look at your profile, they should see a snapshot of your brand. Think of it as similar to something like a scrapbook page. Users will decide whether they are interested or not within the first few seconds of visiting your page. Some possible ways to keep your profile consistent and brand-centered are using the same filter or edits on every photo, choosing a color scheme you want constant, keeping your fonts consistent if you are doing something like making graphics, and trying to provoke the same emotion in your posts as a stay at your property would. So take a look at this Instagram feed that we put together here. And just take a minute, think about what comes to mind when you see this. So to me, I look at it and I say, this is bright, it's sunny, it's luxurious, it's tropical, and the photos flow together. So you look at everything for this fictional resort that we created. Some color schemes are blue. The photos included are very tropical. It's including things that you would want to do during a stay at this resort. So it's just a snapshot of a visual encompassment of the resort. So now let's take a look at this one. And give yourself a minute to think about this option. It's completely the opposite from the other. And what does it make you think of? So for this example feed, we created a lodging option that values relaxation and tranquility above all else. You can see here that a subtle filter was used for all photos. So it gives them more of a soft look and the colors in all of the photos are very light and relaxing. So someone looking for a spa retreat or somewhere to relax and get away for a while would probably opt for this one. Now, thank you so much for listening to our Instagram webinar, and we would love to answer questions, but first, let's do another poll. So the social media team has put together a social media inspection. Social media is a huge part of marketing and branding efforts, and we tell you if you're on track. So please let us know if you are interested in this social media inspection. And as long as we can get about 70% of everyone to vote, then we will go on. All right, we're almost there. And as you go, also start thinking about your questions. We have been preparing for months, so no question is a bad question. We would love to hear them. All right, everyone. Well, you can continue voting if you would like. Now, let's get started. All right, if you'll just give us 1 second to just look at all of these questions. All right, great questions, guys. All right, I'm going to close this poll and we will get to answering. All right, let's see here. All right, a question from Mark. We have a bed and breakfast. Before I even knew about Instagram, guests started posting photos for our business on Instagram using our business location. I would like to claim that location as our business. Can I do that? If so, how? And I couldn't find information. Okay, Mark. Well, unfortunately, you can't claim that location. However, I would highly recommend, if people are already posting about your business, I would highly, highly recommend to create an account. That way, not only can people tag your location, but they can also start tagging your account. And that will give people more and more brand awareness for you. And also, another great way to have content for that business is you can use those photos that people are putting onto that location as long as you ask for permission. So you should always ask for permission when posting other people's photos. But I mean, if people are already posting, then definitely take advantage of that. Does anyone else have anything to add? All right, we can go to the next one. What's a normal frequency rate of posts? So at Q4Launch, we recommend posting 3 to 5 times per week. It really depends on how much quality content you have. We definitely think that quality over quantity is something to talk about with Instagram. It's better to just post once a week versus 7 times a week if you only have that one good photo. And that goes hand in hand with your followers want to see good posts. And when your followers are seeing good posts, then they're interacting with those posts and your posts are being shown to more people due to the Instagram algorithm. So definitely, as long as you have good photos, I'd say you can even post up to 7 times per week, but we go by the rule of 3 to 5. All right. How do you suggest navigating from Instagram to your website? So I'm not sure if this one is for that link in the bio, so like people can get to your website from that one link. If that is what this question is asking, then either I would recommend putting the one link as your homepage. Your homepage to your website should be optimized so that it's getting as many bookings as possible. So I would highly recommend that. If not, then Linktree, the example that we showed before, is a great way to have multiple links. At this time, Instagram does not let you have more than one link. So Linktree is kind of a way around that. But definitely to drive traffic to the website, you should have a link in your bio. So for Barb, showing you a sample caption. We don't have that prepared right now in our little presentation, but some tips for good captions. They're just a little snippet about the photo that you have. So Instagram is highly visual, and as long as your caption is on brand, make it fun, witty. The picture is really what we're worried about. For example, Q4Launch just started our Instagram. You can follow us at Q4Launch. But so for our first post, it just says, "Hello Instagram," and Q4Launch is officially on Instagram. Follow along for a behind-the-scenes look into the world of hospitality marketing. So we're professional, we're on brand, it's a little bit fun, but the picture is really what speaks. Does anyone else have anything to add to that?
No, I think that about covers it, and it's good to remember, especially with Instagram, to keep the captions short and sweet since it is so visually based. Exactly, Araceli. And can we talk about how to respond to comments on Instagram photos? I think one good thing to keep in mind is to make sure that you're just being engaging. Social media is a good place to be really conversational, so just engage the person in a conversation. Yes.
Also, I think you don't need to really, if you have negative comments, you don't need to respond to those, and you can actually, there's options to hide comments that you don't want people to see. So if someone comments something negative about your brand, you can hide the comments that you don't want to show up. You don't have to respond. If you don't want to respond in a professional way, you can just hide the comment.
You can also delete them. It's
yeah,
really bad.
them.
Yeah. Also, you can also redirect to your website or a way to talk to the person if it's like a very, question related to your business, or, about a booking, or a question, oh, do you have this at your property? You can keep it short and sweet, as the other guy said earlier. And just redirect, mention their name, like, hi, we'll be, more than happy to help you out with that. How about you visit our website or give us a call, and just kind of take that out of Instagram so it doesn't take up so much space in the comment section.
Great. And just to add to that, the main thing that you want to do with Instagram is participate like your friends are following you and not like you're advertising. When people are scrolling through an Instagram feed, they don't want to see a bunch of advertisements, and that goes for comments too. So I highly recommend being active on Instagram and responding to those comments. The Instagram algorithm loves it, and also who knows if you'll get a booking because of your response. All right, now let's go on to the next. I've recently taken over the Instagram account for my bed and breakfast and plan on a revamp, for lack of a better word. Should we keep the account and archive the old posts so we keep followers, or deleting it and starting from scratch? Well, I think that it's a great idea to do a revamp if you think that the bed and breakfast profile currently is not on brand. That one is really up to you. I think that your followers are really important, and starting from scratch might be a little bit confusing. I personally don't think that there's anything wrong with deleting old posts if you don't think that they're on brand. And then that way you're technically starting over from scratch, but you're not losing those important followers that you've gained, especially because you said that many of them are local businesses. And this is also a great way to keep in touch with local businesses around you and just support the community. So in my opinion, I would probably start the revamp with your current account. Should I use hashtags in my profile bio? That is a great question. Yes, you can now use hashtags in your profile bio. This is kind of a new thing for Instagram, but it is possible that your profile could be found from whatever hashtag you use. I would not use more than one or two. And if, for example, you have a hashtag that you've created that's personalized to your brand, then I would definitely include that one. For example, if Q4Launch wanted to turn into a hashtag, then I would say hashtag Q4Launch in my bio. Another example for our particular business could be like hashtag digital marketing or something like that. But I would definitely research the hashtag before you use it in your profile. Just do a quick search for it on Instagram and see what kind of posts are coming up. You're most likely going to be accurate that the hashtag is on brand, but it's always important to make sure. All right. We have two Instagram pages. How can I merge the two? So unfortunately, you cannot merge two pages technically. However, I would recommend taking the best page and posting on that one, and then possibly changing your bio to, in the other one, telling those current followers to follow the new page. So you can do a post or two on that page and just say, hey, we are switching accounts. If you would like to continue to get up-to-date information on everything, then please follow this new account and then put your new handle. Is there a way to post things in one location that would then show up on other social media sites? So yes, however, we actually recommend against doing that. So every social media platform is different. Instagram is highly about the photos. Facebook is a little bit about the photos, but you have a little more leeway because you can include links. Twitter is less than 200 characters to get your point across. So you really don't want to be posting the same exact thing on every single social media site. And when you're using Instagram correctly, so you're doing a short caption with some hashtags, things like that, then that's not optimized to be posted across other sites. So if there is a photo that you have on Instagram that you also want to post on Facebook, that's awesome. I would just recommend posting at different times or posting a little bit of a different caption just so that you can make sure that it's optimized for both sites differently. All right. Do you recommend posting pictures of the interior or exterior of the rental homes in our program? That is an awesome question.
I think it would be a good idea, especially if it's appealing. Really just anything that's visually appealing, whether it's the inside, the outside, or even just a detail of the inside. All of those things could work well.
Also, I think there's an option on Instagram where you can show multiple photos. So if you want to do a home feature, you could do maybe for the first photo, a shot from the outside of the house, and then you do two subsequent photos of maybe some of the highlights interior. So you can actually include both of those in a single post.
And as Araceli was saying, you want to give people an insight on what they're gonna get with your property, like the kind of experience, so it can, getting pictures of the exterior is great, but don't be afraid to go inside all the properties and just snapping pictures of really little details that might not seem very important, but that will really give people a sense of connection with that property already, or just, a snap of like the bed with the morning light, and just kind of like giving them that the idea, like giving them a picture of what their trip could look like so that they can visualize themselves. I think there's a great connection, emotional connection that comes with those. So yeah, definitely both are recommended.
Yeah, and going off of that as well, just put yourself in the position of someone that is going to rent that property. So what are people looking for when they go? Does it have a hot tub, a jacuzzi? Does it have gorgeous views? Whatever makes that property special that you're highlighting, I would make that the main photo. But if you have beautiful vacation rentals, there's no reason why you can't be posting multiple photos of them. Like Nathan was saying, there's a feature that you can post multiple photos at once and people can just swipe through. But as long as you're just highlighting the beauty of your property and just whatever people are coming there for, I think either one is awesome. All right. We have old photos we don't want anymore. Can we remove them, or is it better to keep them? You can definitely remove the photos if you don't want them anymore. If you don't think that they're on brand, then it's definitely okay to delete them. But just because you have old photos, it doesn't mean that your profile is, for lack of a better word, bad or not cohesive. It's okay if you have some old photos, but it doesn't hurt if you want to delete them. Right, now, what is a location? So on Instagram, when you post, you can add a location to that post. So if you have, for example, if your bed and breakfast is in Cape Cod, yeah, if it's in Cape Cod, then you can set that location either to, there should be a location for your actual bed and breakfast. For example, one of our clients in Cape Cod is Candleberry Inn. So if we want to set the location as Candleberry Inn, then that will come up on the top of our post, but then you could also set it as just Cape Cod. So if you have a vacation rental company, say it's in Aspen, Colorado, then you'd probably want to make all of your, if you're promoting your vacation rentals, make your location Aspen, Colorado. Your vacation rentals are spread out. There's not going to be just one business area for you. But that's just another way to be found, because when people are searching for Aspen, Colorado, and you're tagged in that location, then your post will come up. Right, now we have what kind of hashtags would be used for a certain rental home. So for this one, we recommend doing about 5 to 10 hashtags, and if you even want to, you could make the name of that rental home a hashtag. I know a lot of our clients have really fun names for their rentals. So if you wanted to do like hashtag the name, but then also just some general travel hashtags as well. Those probably have a very large following. So like even hashtag travel or hashtag beach home, hashtag beach vacation. And again, like we've said, as long as you're researching those hashtags ahead of time, just making sure that they're on brand, that's a good guideline to go by.
Yeah, it also depends on, I think, the area of your rentals. Like if you're at the beach, again, like Sarah was saying, you could do like hashtag beach day, but if you're in the mountains, obviously you don't want to use that hashtag. So yeah. it just depends on what area you're located in and what kind of activities people might be doing at that particular location.
And you can look that up on the internet. Like there's tons of websites you can find that information on. If you're just looking for a certain area and you have no idea what to use, there's probably a lot of websites that are ranking.
Hashtagify me.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. All right, now how do I load my logo onto Instagram? So when you're optimizing your profile, you're going to want to just go to your profile page, and then there should be 3 little lines up in the top right corner, and then click that, and at the bottom is settings, and then from there you can, oh no, you want to go to edit profile, and then from there you can change your profile photo. And then as long as you just have the picture of your logo, then you should be able to upload it, no problem. And like we said before, recommend putting it into a square, since Instagram's automatically going to crop it into a circle. Let's see. As a bed and breakfast, we are constantly taking photos of our food, like breakfast, social hour, foods, desserts, but we also want to take lots of photos of our property, like the flowers blooming, our pool, and our outdoor sitting areas. How can I string all these photos together to make it look as good as the examples you showed us? So that is so awesome that you're taking all these photos. That is exactly what we want to see when we see an Instagram profile for something like a bed and breakfast. So like I said before, there are a few things that you can do to make them just look cohesive, and that's a filter or certain colors. It sounds like you have a very beautiful and bright property. Personally, I try maybe boosting the color or trying just a cohesive filter for that. But as long as your photos are of your property and they are on brand, then you should have no problem making a cohesive profile.
And you can also, if you're used to scrolling the general feed and just, you know, looking at some of your competitors or what other B&Bs are doing, just getting inspiration from like the angles they're using or the kind of pictures they're taking and just seeing what works the best. Because chances are if you're seeing them on the general feed, they're really popular. So it doesn't hurt to just kind of get inspiration, maybe save them and try to recreate them with your own, you know, B&B or things that you want to take a picture of.
Exactly. And we also recommend just planning your posts a little bit. So at Q4Launch, we have a content calendar and we plan everything out for the month. So we know what will go together. We know to stagger some breakfast photos in there while also showing the beauty of the season and the flowers blooming and things like that. So definitely planning helps. Right, I have my Twitter and Facebook accounts linked. Can I do this with Instagram? So we touched on this a little bit. You can do it with Instagram, but we would recommend against it just because you should be optimizing your posts based on the platform that you're using. All right, we have a great Facebook page with close to 20,000 followers. Congratulations. Is there a way to link Instagram and merge followers from Facebook? So there's not. However, you can definitely promote your Instagram page on your Facebook account. So if you wanted to grab that link, for example, ours is instagram.com/Q4Launch, and you can just create a post on your Facebook and say, hey everyone, we are on Instagram, and if you want to see photos of our property and keep up to date with everything that we're doing, then follow us, and you will definitely get a few followers from that.
You could also put your Instagram handle in your About section on Facebook and say, if you want to see more great photos, follow us on Instagram.
All right, we have a restaurant that we market as well as the hotel itself, but the restaurant has a large local following. We're trying to attract new hotel guests. Should we have 2 accounts and be posting differently? That's definitely a question based on opinion. So if you have totally different followings for the 2, then I think that it's fine to have 2 separate accounts and you can kind of use them to work together. So for example, if you wanted to start posting things on the restaurant page that sort of hint at staying at the hotel, then I think that that would be great. However, you don't want to lose that local following that you have for your restaurant. So I think it's totally fine to be using that page to try to attract new hotel guests. You can even, since it does have a local following, try to get the locals even to stay at your hotel, just a little overnight getaway for a while. Things like that are definitely a way that you can sort of use that following. All right, let's see. Some of our competitors are creating Instagram walls or Instagram areas with props for guests to use. If we go this route, should we recommend a hashtag for people to use when posting their photos? How do we take advantage of other people's photos? So I love this, and this is especially becoming more and more popular. We're seeing it all the time. You can definitely create a hashtag for your business. And also, I would put up a little sign asking people to just tag you in the photos. This is huge because word of mouth is huge, huge, huge for marketing. So when people see other people taking photos at your bed and breakfast or hotel, vacation rental, they're posting it, they're having a great time, then it makes other people want to come. So this is a great way to make people start doing that.
Yeah, you can just make the name of your inn or bed and breakfast the hashtag that people will use, and definitely encourage them to use that hashtag and be consistent with it.
Definitely. All right, and it looks like we only have one question left. If anyone else has a question, go ahead. Otherwise, we are going to end the webinar. But our last question is, how do I find my Instagram account's login info? I want my chef to be able to sign in. So unfortunately, you can't really get your login info. It depends on what you know about your account. So we've kind of come across a few times where an Instagram or a property has been bought and the new owners didn't get the Instagram login info or things like that. So for something like this, as long as you have the email that the account is associated with, then you should be able to change your password and log in. Otherwise, if you can't do that, or if the email is something that you don't know anymore or you never had because the business wasn't yours, something like that, then you will have to create a new account. All right, well, it looks like we are out of questions, and I would just like to thank everyone so much for coming. Hopefully we can do this again sometime, but everyone have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.